Have you guys ever watched the Monty Python skit, The World's Funniest Joke? A skit about a man writing a joke so funny it can cause you to laugh yourself to death and then is later used as a weapon of war to fight the Germans in World War II. Well, I think I've just come across what that joke was because a liberal rag known as Cult MTL or Cult Montreal released an article on August 1st, 2024, no less, titled Conservatives want Trudeau to step down because they're scared. Yes, Canadian conservatives are deeply fearful of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and his popularity, I guess. In a certain sense, I actually am scared of Justin Trudeau, but scared of him in the same way I'd be scared of a 5-year-old handling a blowtorch. I'm not actually scared of Justin Trudeau being able to win another election. He's dead in the water and he knows it. He keeps losing by-elections in places like downtown Toronto. He's dead in the water. Pierre Poilievre is not being kept up late at night because he's thinking that Justin Trudeau is going to best him. Justin Trudeau couldn't best his own shoes when he's tying them up. It's a disaster area right now for the Liberals. Not that long after this article was written, Angus Reid came out with that poll showing the Liberals down 22 points on the Conservatives. Nobody's fearful of them. But today, just as a treat, I'm going to read through this not very long article. Who could have guessed that you couldn't really put that many words to an article arguing that Justin Trudeau is popular? But we're going to read it today just for the fun of it. Let's see, what's his name? Matthew Renfrew. Let's see the point that Matthew Renfrew is trying to make and take it at face value. So he starts. The percentage of Canadians who are satisfied with the Trudeau government is still higher than the percentage of Canadians who think Pierre Poilievre is the best choice for Prime Minister. Now, I'm just going to over the car for a second here so I can confront this lie quickly before we move on. I pre-read this article a little bit before I recorded this video, but this all comes from, and they do link it, so I give them credit, it comes from this Leger poll. But this Leger poll is a deep outlier. Most of the polling on preferred prime minister are showing Pierre Poilievre at like 34%, 36%, sometimes at like 38%, well over Justin Trudeau's numbers. But this guy found this one Leger poll that technically shows that Justin Trudeau's like government's approval rating is a little bit higher than Pierre Poilievre is preferred to be prime minister. But it's obviously an outlier because it shows 26% of people want Pierre Poilievre to be the prime minister, and 29% of people are currently like satisfied with Trudeau's government. Is that a number to be happy with? Let's say that Leger poll is absolutely 100% accurate, and 26% of people want Poilievre as the prime minister. But are you actually proud of only 29% of people being satisfied by your government? Also, people don't have to love Pierre Poilievre to think that the conservative agenda is better than the liberal agenda. Go look at like the preferred prime minister polls for Justin Trudeau in the same poll. He's like below 20%. That's not a number to be proud of. But anyways, I'm going to move on in this article. So Renfrew moves on and says, the election is still 14 months away, and calls for Justin Trudeau to step down have come largely from conservatives because they're scared. Well, no. They're coming from conservatives because they can actually say he should step down and not get kicked out of the Liberal Party or the NDP. Even now, after Jagmeet Singh ripped off the supply and confidence agreement, I guarantee if his own NDP MPs called too vigorously for Justin Trudeau to step down, Jagmeet Singh would probably kick them out of NDP caucus. So yeah, conservatives aren't scared. They're telling an unpopular leader that they should step down. This is like saying that you're terrified of this man because you keep telling him to drop out of a race after he like wets himself and falls over on stage. Like, no, it's because he's underperforming. Sorry, getting back to the article. I'm going to read a little bit of a larger chunk now. They know that Pierre Poilievre rubs too many people the wrong way. He's likely peaked too early. His empty catchphrases can only resonate for so long, and there's still over a year for his lack of actual ideas and embarrassing past statements to be exposed. The Liberals and the liberal media keep attacking Pierre Poilievre for every single time he's ever picked up a glass of water with the wrong hand. There's nothing really left to be exposed. And even then, they're saying, well, there's still a year left until the next election, and his popularity couldn't possibly hold up. I keep hearing that month after month that eventually Poilievre's going to fall off a cliff and become deeply unpopular. Oh, no conservative or no party could ever hold a 20% lead for an entire year. Well, it's been well more than an entire year at this point, and the conservatives are still that popular. And in a certain sense, it's not because the conservatives are popular, although they are. It's because nobody likes Justin Trudeau. And, to put it in a different way, nobody's scared of Justin Trudeau. They think he's useless. Anyways, moving on. Conservatives love to talk about how it's unfair to compare their party to Donald Trump. It's because the parties are just very different. It's obviously a stupid comparison. Even though a majority of Canadians would vote for Trump if they could, or a majority of Canadians would vote for Trump if they could, conservative politicians prey on the uneducated and those who lack critical thinking skills. Who could guess why people don't vote Liberal with advocates like this calling people uneducated? Remember, these are the same people who would have no clue how to defend themselves when people call them weird, because deep down, they know that their anti-science narratives, reliance on disinformation, and lack of empathy is weird. Has the Trudeau government been perfect? Of course not. Well, that's a way of putting that. But this government has implemented affordable childcare. Have they? No. They passed a bill saying that they're going to push for affordable childcare. They have that $10 a day childcare plan, but it's not working. Just because you technically do it doesn't mean it's been effective. Begun reconciliation with Indigenous people by taking away their ability to actually use their own resources and get involved in the energy industry. Improved Canada's reputation internationally. No. Implemented gun control legislation and strong climate action, not to mention successfully managing a pandemic, as if anyone cares about that anymore. Our country is projected to have the fastest growing economy in the G7 in 2025. Okay, stop right there. No, our raw GDP is going up faster than some other countries because we are bringing more people into our country at a faster rate per capita than any other country in the G7. We are not actually growing on a per capita basis. We are just jamming more warm bodies into the country, into the borders, which naturally grows the GDP. Not in a healthy direction, but it does grow it. If somebody comes over to the border with only a quarter to their name, we have technically grown the GDP because we have an extra quarter. It doesn't actually help the economy if that person then just goes and sits on a couch and does nothing. But on raw GDP terms, we look okay, I suppose. Canada's not the broken country the conservatives want you to think it is. And wow, that's really where the article ends. Yeah, so this person who supposedly is mocking people for being uneducated couldn't put more than 4 paragraphs to the concept that Justin Trudeau is a, brilliant mind, that Pierre Poilievre is shaking in his boots with thinking about debating him someday. He's not. Justin Trudeau is the one who's terrified of Pierre Poilievre. That's why he barely shows up to question period. And the only thing he can do is just throw on the schmarm extra hard and pretend like everything's great while the Titanic goes down. Justin Trudeau and the Liberals have nothing left. And the thing is, when I say nothing left, I don't just mean they're unpopular and I don't like them. I mean, like, they don't even have any good strategies left. They just keep doing microwaved versions of whatever Kamala Harris's campaign is doing down in the US. And frankly, Kamala Harris's campaign's also kind of failing. You can't really fake people into thinking that you're somebody that you're not. Justin Trudeau cannot fake his way into being a new fresh face in Canadian politics, like his party's been trying to do over the last 6 months, trying to give him that energy, making him feeling more dynamic. Oh, he just went to the Toronto International Film Festival. Oh, he's so involved with the people. It doesn't play. It's just, that's a dog that's not going to hunt, because people know Justin Trudeau, and he is not a fresh face. He's not a competent leader. And the thing is, his energy is just obnoxious when people can't afford groceries. This is the same thing that's happening in British Columbia right now. I'm going to bring it up just because I'm helping out in British Columbia with the Conservative Party of BC. David Eby and the NDP are trying to do this whole push about how the Conservatives are super extreme and you can't trust them. Guys, nobody can afford groceries. There's dead people all over the streets who overdosed on safe supply drugs or who bought more dangerous drugs with the safe supply drugs. Nobody wants to hear that you think John Rusted's a mean, nasty man because he's been in office since 2005. Who cares? People can't afford housing. So what's your solution to that? Do you know the Conservatives are climate change deniers? Shut up. Shut up. What's wrong with you? At least talk to something that a middle class person could somewhat connect to. I'm trying to give you guys advice here. Figure out an issue that actually matters to middle class people and then try and market to them on that basis. Actually, I just want to quickly bring up something that I forgot earlier. But on that point where the Matthew Reynolds or Renfrew tried to claim that Pierre Poilievre was slightly less popular as a preferred prime minister than the Liberal government. Well, here's a new poll out from Abacus Data and David Coletto. 89% of people have a negative impression of Justin Trudeau. 88% disapprove of the job performance of Justin Trudeau's government. 82% want a change in government and think there's a good alternative available. Yeah, that Leger poll doesn't doesn't amount to a hill of beans. All the other pollsters outside of outlier polls from like Leger are showing that nobody likes Justin Trudeau. Even all the other Leger polls show that Pierre Poilievre is way more popular. Every once in a while, a poll will show up that makes the Liberals look a little bit better. This was that outlier poll that showed like the Liberals were only down by 13 points, which would still give the Conservatives a majority. So even in fantasy land for Justin Trudeau, even in if only the best polls are the right ones, he's still in a minority situation. Well, not a minority situation. He's like the Conservatives are still in a majority situation, and the Liberals might even fall into third place in seat count. That's nobody's scared of this man. People are pointing and laughing, and I don't think that looks like fear to me. Anyways, that should be it for me today, guys. If you want to help out the channel, you can donate to the legal fund in the Give, Send, Go link in the description below. We're being sued by a Chinese billionaire for no reason, for defamation. And in over 2.5 years, we're actually almost coming up on 3 years here, he still hasn't filed any evidence. We're actually still waiting for him to give over more evidence we asked for in his deposition. It's almost been an entire year since we requested that he prove whether or not he tried to sue the Globe and Mail for saying the same things that we did a year and a half before we said it. Crazy case, but it's cost me more than $32,000. And I believe I actually had to pay somebody else for something, but whatever. Anything you can contribute really helps me out. And then if you live in British Columbia, please donate to the BC Conservatives. The one advantage that David Eby and the BC NDP have left is they have basically taxpayers giving them money every year to campaign. BC Conservatives basically get nothing. I think the BC Conservatives every year maybe get $50,000. The NDP gets millions of dollars every year because there's this stupid law where parties get $1.56 per vote they got in the last election. Plus, the NDP got 33% of their campaign expenses comped by taxpayers. So donate in the Abbotsford South EDA below. $100, you get 75% of it back, so it only costs you $25. And what we're going to do is we're going to take all that money and distribute it to other ridings around British Columbia where we have a chance to beat the NDP and form a majority BC Conservative government. So that link's also there if you live in BC. If you live in BC, don't donate anything to me directly. Donate it to the BC Conservative Party so we can actually win out here. Anyways, that's it for me. Have a good one.